There's a song by, I hope I'm getting all this right. I do like the song. Got Ya? Somebody that I used to know. And he's lamenting, and towards the end, she comes in and she gives her side of the story in this love affair gone, kaput. And he says, but you didn't have to yada, yada, yada. Have your friends collect your records and you change your number. Yeah, that's separation, isn't it? I mean, you're coming and you're taking your stuff, having your stuff taken. You're not even showing up yourself. You're just having your stuff taken out of your lover's home. Yep. And then, on top of it, you block him, in effect. Now, whether he's right or he's wrong, or whether you're right or whether you're wrong, there's some pain there. There's some serious pain there. Being felt by one, both, whatever. But somebody's feeling some pain. I know if it's me, and you come into our nest, my home, whatever, my pad, and you come in and you take out every reminder of yourself that was you. And then blocked me out of your life. If I had feelings for you, and I'm using this song here loosely as an analogy because I know that some people who may hear this, they can relate to the song. They've heard it, they know it. If you're the guy in that song and this lover comes into your home, takes everything they've ever left there away, and blocks you out, it takes two to tango. Yes. You played your part. But that's going to do very little for the feelings that you will probably feel in that moment. The feelings of, well, just hurt. If for no other reason that an amicable separation couldn't be reached, if for no other reason. But now, imagine you're really in love with that person that just came and took all their stuff out of your home and blocked you out of their life. Think upon that for a second. Well, at one point, that person was coming into your home, into your heart, and was communing with you. And now, they commune with you not. They forsake you for something else. Feel that for a minute. I want you to think upon those last few words. Pause this and think upon how you would feel in that moment when you realized that it wasn't really a two-way street. I'll wait. I see these shows on YouTube Junkie, there you go. And a lot of them are having to do with atheists. And there's one I watch, and I've watched multiple shows, and it's like they're sitting at a desk, like commentators, and it's usually a tag team. There's usually a man and a woman, or two men, whatever. But there's usually always that one guy there, and I think he's on the right, and I've seen him in other shows. I can't think of his name, and this is a YouTube, probably not wise to mention names anyway, I guess. I don't know. And I've seen him in other programs, and I'm enamored with him. I have a belief in a God. I would call myself a Christian man because I was born in the Western Hemisphere, primarily, if I'm being honest. Right? Think about that. Think about that. There's plenty of some atheists out there going, yeah, get them, tell them. Religion, shoved down our throats. But I do happen to believe in a monotheistic, a God of the universe. And I listen to this atheist. I like this man too. And I go, yeah, preach it. Tell it to the choir, atheist. Yes. And I'll listen to Christians call in and just totally abase themselves. They call in with a Bible in one hand and a sword in the other, and their heart is beating on their chest. And I'm like, these two cats at this table are willing to take your phone calls and have an intellectual discussion with you, and you can't manage it. And you call yourself a Christian. You should step down. There. Word to the atheists there. Yeah, I like the guy. He's very cogent, very, very sober of mind. And I think, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Those are the cards you felt you were dealt. I respect you. Play your hand. And good luck. There's another young man on YouTube that I can't say the same for. Learned young man. Just as I think this atheist I was just speaking of is very learned in the word, in the words of other religions. But back to this young man. He, at one time, according to his own words, had professed a belief in Jesus Christ, a relationship with the God of his understanding. Now he hosts a show that is directly in opposition to the idea of a supreme being. I believe that's fair to say. And I look at this young man, and I'm reminded of the story of the lovers that I just told you about, the psalm. And I try to imagine myself, which is, of course, asinine. I try to imagine myself as God, looking at this handsome young man, learned young man, in so many areas, both scripturally and otherwise, in the world, the secular world, which is very important, by the way, to be knowledgeable in the secular world. And I think if I were God and I'm looking at him and I think he has said to me, I love you. And now he says to me, I do not know you. Well, I think that he might look at the first man, maybe, and say, and he's going to look at the second man and he's going to think, I'm actually speaking of the sin of blasphemy. One of the blasphemous sins is to deny the Holy Ghost. You see, the first man has never professed a relationship with God, but the second man has. He's the one that I truly worry about. Well, I worry about both of them, as I hope both of them worry about me. Mankind collectively, we're all in this together. It must be built on love. Everything we do must be built on a foundation of love. Love is the greatest thing we have. Why am I sharing this? It's like the Better Bachelor says, you do you. But figure out what you is as soon as you can. And try to stick with it. And I should be listening to my own words pretty heavily right now. Because I was the captain of my own ship, and I ran that sucker aground. For sure, if I may borrow another fellow's quote in the program. Indeed, I'm the co-pilot now. I ain't the captain of this plane or ship or nothing else. I guess I'm asking you to be careful. Be careful with your life and the decisions you make. They can have serious ramifications in this life and possibly a next one. Peace. Love you all.